In this clip, we see a typical firebomb attack on a Japanese city by B-29s from 21st Bomber Command. The goal of this type of attack is to burn the city to the ground. On August 1st, 1945, 21st Bomber Command dispatched 182 B-29s to attack the Japanese city of Toyama. The bombers were loaded with firebombs which contain incendiary mediums including napalm, magnesium, thermite, and phosphorus. 99.5% of the city was destroyed. This was the most destroyed city during World War II and maybe in the history of warfare. The intent of this video is to review why the city of Toyama was selected for destruction, walk through the mission, the incendiary loadouts, and the bombing results. As we walk through the tactical mission report, the channel will stop to explain the material as needed to clarify a point. In March of 1945, General LeMay switched bombing tactics to counter both the adverse weather and the jet stream encountered over Japan, as discussed in this channel's video. Instead of bombing military-industrial targets using tactics that included high-altitude precision visual targeting during the day, the bombers targeted entire urban areas from low altitude at nighttime with incendiaries. This proved to be very effective. In total, around 64 Japanese cities were firebombed, destroying 169 square miles of their urban core. This map shows the cities targeted by B-29 bombers during World War II. Toyama is located here. By June 1945, Bomber Command had attained its goal of the destruction of Japan's chief 5 cities and will now start attacking the smaller industrial cities, as discussed in this June 1945 20th Air Force Operations document. This is the reason why Toyama was selected. Bomber Command was running out of viable larger targets, and Toyama was on the list of the smaller sized cities. The 5 big targets whose damage goals were met include Tokyo, Yokohama, Nagoya, Osaka, and Kobe. On August 1, 1945, 17 B-29 groups were dispatched to attack these 4 smaller city-urban areas, as discussed on this August 1945 21st Bomber Command Tactical Mission Report. This map shows the location of the 4 cities. August 1, 1945 is also the day where 851 B-29s were dispatched, as shown on this page from an August 11, 1945 Air Intelligence Report. This broke the record for the most B-29s ever dispatched and bomb tonnage dropped by B-29s during the war. This map from a September 1944 Air Target Folder document shows the city of Toyama and the location of its 5 key industries. The 1.88 square mile city of Toyama is located here, roughly 5 miles from the inlet. The 5 key major industries include Target 861 in 1944, aluminum and magnesium plants, Target 862, a harbor, Target 941, a steel products plant, Target 1943, a steel products plant. The bomber route to and from the target is shown on this map. The air-sea rescue vehicle stations are shown on this map. This page addresses the size of bomber force required to destroy the city. 4 groups, or 180 B-29s, would be needed to destroy the city of Toyama. This is based on 225 tons of incendiary bombs per square mile of urban areas needed. Since this is a nighttime radar-sighted raid, it is expected only 40% of bombs will land with a circular error of 4,000 feet from the aim point. 90% of bombers dispatched will attack the target with an average bomb load of 14,000 pounds. The MPI is located at the southeastern edge of the city's castle. This is roughly the center mass of the city, and most of the city is within the 4,000-foot radii from this point. This location will also give an excellent radar return. These are radar scope returns from the mission at various scope resolutions. At a 25-mile scope resolution, where the IP and target are identified. At a 7-mile scope resolution, the southeast corner of the castle can be identified. This map from the Tactical Mission Report identifies the footprint of the city's castle and the bomber's MPI aimpoint location. A close-up view of the castle and its MPI. Almost all of the city's urban areas bound by this 4,000-foot radii as added to the objective map. None of the major military-industrial targets are within this bomber strike zone. The only minor industrial targets identified in the 4,000-foot radii zone are a gasworks and a drug company. This page describes a rationale for the bomb type and mix. The city has many fire breaks which should limit the spread of the fire. This is an example of a fire break that worked. The wide street kept the fire raging on the right side of the street from burning down the structures on the left side of the street. The city's urban area, in addition to residential homes, contains small and medium-sized industries. These facilities require incendiaries with penetration ability. This image shows typical Japanese residential dwellings. The incendiary loadout plan will be a mix of around half M47 bombs. These 70-pound napalm-filled bombs have good penetration and great fire-starting capabilities. Usage of these bombs was covered in this channel's video. The other half of the loadout will be the M17 Thermite Magnesium cluster bombs. 110 of these M50 4-pound bomblets will be carried in the M17 cluster canister. Usage of these bombs was covered in the channel's Dresden video. In addition, each bomber will carry one M47 filled with a white phosphorus medium in lieu of napalm. These bombs will be added to discourage firefighters. This image shows a typical Japanese firefighting group. All bomb fusing and bomber intervalometer settings are tuned for maximum target destruction. This table lists the actual bomb loadout for the August 1st missions. Mission 307 is the Toyama Firebomb strike. The 173 73rd Wing B-29s dropped 1,131 tons of M17 incendiary clusters, 60 tons of M19 incendiary clusters, 270 tons of M47 napalm-filled bombs, 4.4 tons of phosphorus-filled M47 bombs, and 41 M46 photoflash bombs. The photo flash bombs were used to capture images for bomb placement accuracy review and damage assessment measurements, like seen in this image of Toyama during the August 1st firebomb attack and this image from the same attack. This page describes additional details of the mission. Altitude of the attack varied from 12,100 to 13,600 feet. The weather was clear and the wind speed was 13 knots. Inaccurate flak was encountered to and over the target. No planes were lost during the mission from flak or fighters, and only one of the 173 planes attacking received minor flak damage. Searchlights were ineffective in coning the bombers. The city was in a blackout. This page describes the results of the attack. 1.87 square miles of the city's built-up area was destroyed out of the city's 1.88 square miles of built-up area, or 99.5% of the city was destroyed. For reference, a second atomic bomb destroyed 1.8 square miles, or 36% of Nagasaki's built-up area, from a 1947 USSBS report table. 1.81 square miles destroyed is classified as urban, or 97%, and 0.06 square miles is classified as industrial, or 3%. The 5 minor industrial targets destroyed during the raid include Target 6251, the city's gasworks, 6261, Nippon Steel, 6250, a spin mill, and 2 unidentified plants. The results of this attack kind of remind me of this image from a September 1945 air staff document which shows the results of a firebomb attack on a Japanese city which was 66% destroyed. With the caption, "We also got a propeller plant." This map from the Tactical Mission Report outlines the zones of damage. The city's 1.88 square mile built-up urban and industrial areas bound by the outer line. The sparse built-up areas are within these zones identified with dots. The industries destroyed in this image are the city's gaswork, Nippon Steel, spin mill, and 2 unidentified plants labeled. All other cross-hatched area is built-up urban area destroyed. I could not track down a World War II city which was more than 99.5% destroyed. The data provided is the basis for the statement. Toyama is the most destroyed city in World War II. This page summarizes the attack from a 21st Bomber Command target list. The average bomb load equates to 16,094 pounds. 1,465 tons were dropped on the target. 118 planes sighted the target by radar and 55 by visual. Population of the city was estimated at 127,000. This webpage from the city's travel guide describes the attack. Likely due to the city's production of steel and ball bearings, Toyama was the most heavily bombed Japanese city in World War II. I would reword this statement as, Bomber Command picked Toyama to be bombed since all larger cities of significance were already destroyed. 21st Bomber Command was not targeting the city's industries, they were targeting its urban areas. Also, it was not the most heavily bombed Japanese city in World War II. Tokyo would say hold my beer to that statement. They can claim they were the most destroyed city in World War II, though. 8,000 people were injured and 2,700 died as a result of the raid. If you have found this Toyama Firebomb attack deep dive review interesting and informative, please consider supporting the channel by commenting, liking, and or subscribing to World War II U.S. Bombers.